Welcome to a brand new week and a brand new edition here of the Los Alamitos.com preview show here. I'm your host, Jose Contreras, alongside the voice of Los Alamitos, Michael Wrona. Michael, welcome back to the program. It was a great weekend of the Los Alamitos Sequential and also the PC Creator Breeders' Futurity and Derby last week.
Very much so. Good results from the two-day sale and some big-time performances on the track under the lights, with Chick's First Flash winning the PCQHRA Breeders' Derby and Political Rivalry extending his unbeaten career record, taking the Futurity.
Yeah, there was some nice, exciting races there to wrap up the weekend. And, of course, Chick's First Flash did the Futurity Derby double,
yes,
which had not been done, in about a decade, right?
Yeah, 11 or 12 years. So a noteworthy achievement for sure. Very dominant performance too.
Yeah, and a very, very, once he broke well, we knew he had that strong leg kick and he powered home to a very easy win. Taking it back to the weekend of the cell, I know you had the opportunity to visit the cell for the very first time. What'd you think of it there? Did you go on day two?
Yes, and was very impressed with the whole arrangement. Aesthetically, It was really quite beautiful. They did a fantastic job in how it is presented, and I was particularly keen on being there to see Rose Bouquet go through the ring, because I saw that filly when I visited Burns Ranch a couple of months ago, and I knew she'd bring a pretty penny. You didn't need to be Einstein to work that out. My favorite cartel from Remember Me Rose, and she ended up being the sale topper at $320,000, that filly going to Reliance Ranch. And seeing her go into the ring and the hammer to drop on her, and look forward to seeing her next season.
Yeah, that pedigree has been outstanding there. That cross of favorite cartel Remember Me Rose, and they got another one for $320,000 going to Reliance Ranches. Okay, let's talk about this weekend. Just like it feels every year, once we get to that weekend of the sale and the PC Creator series, it feels like every weekend is nonstop, high-stakes caliber action, and that's exactly what we have here this weekend on Los Alamitos. We're recording this on a Thursday, middle afternoon, a little bit later in the afternoon, but we have 10 races on Saturday night. Of course, we'll have the great matchup of Empressum and Apolltical Pence in the Boniface Invitational Championship. We'll talk about that race at the end of our segment. But also, the entries already out, Michael. I glanced at them. They just fresh off the presses. The entries for Sunday night's Golden State Million Futurity trials. We're going to have 13 trials on Sunday.
Yeah, a baker's dozen, all quarter horse races Sunday night, with horses trying to qualify to that rich, prestigious final. Only 10 spots available in the starting gate. So we're not even going to average one horse per trial into the final. It's just such a huge achievement to make the final for the Golden State Million Futurity. And so we wish all the connections the very best. There are some top-line juveniles set to strut their stuff for us on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. All right, let's get to business here. Saturday night. Let's get to your selection for this Saturday night card. 10 races again on this Saturday night program. Race number 6 is where we're going to go. We got a 300-yard quarter horse maiden event. This for the fillies. We do have a division for the boys as well. We got some good fields on Saturday night and Sunday night as well. Field of 9. And I know you're taking the fresh horse off the layoff. Too sweet for you. Who's at 6-1 on the morning line?
Yes, this is a Lindolfo Diaz trained filly who debuted in early May off a pair of 12.4 second gate works and was 3-1 in a talented field. The winner, talk about something, has qualified to a pair of futurities and finished 4th just last weekend behind Political Rivalry. The runner-up Sarsaparilla also qualified to a futurity final. Now, I must admit, Too Sweet for You was only fair in that debut race, then did nothing in a trial to the Ed Burke Million Futurity when dismissed at 25-1. But she's been put on the shelf. She comes back after a 4-month layoff with a couple of eye-catching morning efforts. The first of them was a bullet turn and work in late August. Then came a bullet gate drill in September, which we have for you.
Yeah, here's a workout courtesy of LosAlamitos.com, where you can watch any of these workouts at your own leisure. All right, let's take a look at this workout. This is from September 12th. There was 8 workouts recorded this morning, and she's going to post the fastest qualify. It's going to be the fastest time of the morning. So here's a work Too Sweet for You as a solo drill here, Michael.
Yes, and she improved from 12.4 clockings early in the season to this 12.1 bullet work, and it was a nice piece of work, I've got to say. The gallop out around the turn also impressed me. I've just got it in my head, Jose, that through natural improvement as 2-year-olds progress through their first racing season, with this 4-month break, it might have really brought her on, and I think we're going to see an improved version of her. I like the fact that Lindolfo Diaz, an excellent trainer of 2-year-olds, thought enough of Too Sweet for You to put her into a trial to the Edberg Million Futurity as a maiden. And obviously she didn't do a lot on that occasion, but there must be something there. She took that money on debut. I just think that she's come back a better, improved filly. And I think she's sitting on a really good race at really good odds. 6-1 is quite appealing to me.
And also, what I find interesting, I don't know if she was eligible for the Golden State Million trials or not, but she is eligible for the 2 million. So this is right on schedule as far as where they want to get her back to the races, and obviously they'll have some time now to point towards those 2 million futurity trials, which she appears to be eligible for. So I'm in agreement with you that I like how she looked in the work. So I agree with everything that you said about her, and I just think she's more mature now than what we saw earlier in the season.
Yes, and there's no standout if you look at the morning line from Ed Burgart. The favourite's 3-1 and has the rail to deal with and has had a few chances. I've actually made some notes about Fancy Like Lily through her career. She shouldn't be a maiden for much longer, but at the same time, she's favourite from the rail and has had a few chances. The second choice out there in Gate 8 is a horse who hasn't raced at Los Alamitos before. Now, this is another Jose Flores horse coming in for the first local start, first race for Flores, and that's just been the winning recipe in the last couple of months. But I had a look at the gate work, which came 4 days after Too Sweet for You's, and frankly, I just wasn't as impressed. I thought Too Sweet for You's bullet work just took my eye. So I'm prepared to take a risk with Patrona Favorita. And then you get to Backside of Water at 9-2, number 4, who's been huge odds in each of 4 starts. Dramatic improvement for the long shot placing last time out, but you're taking a much, much shorter price, aren't you, than what she's been let go at in 4 starts. The horse, I think, can make an impression here, can get into the placings and be a threat to my top selection, is the 5, Trace Sace Candy, because her Los Al debut came from the rail with no local work. So there's 2 reasons to expect that she might be able to move forward for Christopher O'Dell. She's drawn right next door to Too Sweet for You at similar odds of 5-1. I might even be enticed towards the 6-5 exacta. But, all things being even, in a race without a standout, with that bullet gate work blinking at us, I think that the 6 in race 6 at 6-1 hopefully won't finish 6th. I think this might be the way to go.
Well, mate, I didn't share my notes with you, and we're kind of aligned because my selections and my comments are already in for the 9-9s for the print edition. I have Too Sweet for You, Press Ace Candy, Backside of Water. So I have those 3. I have the exact 2 as you. I have 6, 5, 4 as my top 3 picks there in race number 6.
Sensational. We've got the same exacta. All right, I like it.
All right. While I have you here, why don't we talk about the big rematch we have for us in the Grade 1, Robert Boniface Los Alamitos Invitational Championship, which will go as race number 10 on Saturday night's program. We have Empressum, last year's champion winner. We have Apolltical Pence, a 2-time champion winner. We have London Toby, the winner of the Spencer Childers. We have a 3-year-old, Hooked and Gone, who just finished beating a neck in the All-American Derby, a $1.2 million race. And of course, we have Bomb Cyclone, who was a sensational 3-year-old last year here, winning Super Derby, and Stuck in Probate, who has kind of teased as showing signs of talent at times. But what a 6-pack we have here. Most notably, Empressum versus Spence once again here tonight.
Yeah, there's several things that come to mind. We were just talking about the big results from last weekend's stakes races. Chicks First Flash, the Derby winners, trained by Monte Rosa. Political Rivalry, the Futurity winner, have Rosa versus Taylor again as part of this great rivalry between Apolltical Pence and Empressum. Empressum beaten by Scoots Dynasty last time out when drawn inside, lost this race a year ago to Apolltical Pence when coming out of gate 2. It's interesting to me that that Empressum is a fractional favourite on the morning. That Pence might have got a slight nod, but it's just so hard to separate these two great horses. And Bomb Cyclone, don't forget, Jose, incredibly started favourite in the Champion of Champions,
Yes.
which I think surprised everybody from the rail. And he did not disgrace himself, but, you know, it was at the end of his 3-year-old season and he wasn't quite as seasoned and mature as the other pair. But the fact that he actually went off a fractional favourite is still sticking in my head. And there he is out in gate number 5 with a very close third in a big race at Ruidoso to his credit against a couple of top-line horses, KJ Desperado and Flashback. And so a lot of interest in his return to Los Al. He might be the best investment of them all at 3-1.
He loves this track. We know that. And obviously he's got that elevating talent. He's only a 4-year-old, so there could be more to his ceiling. I think it's an interesting renewal of that matchup of course, Apolltical Pence and Empressum. But Bomb Cyclone, we can't forget about him given his brilliance at times and his affinity here for Los Alamitos. Now, if you have to make me pick, I think I would take Empressum because the extra 40 yards going 440, I think benefits him the most. Okay, but I am a little concerned about the inside draw. Like, I was all in on Scoops Dynasty last time out. That opinion came to fruition. I think Empressum can bounce back. It's all about the start for him because he can't afford to give Apolltical Pence too much of an early lead like he did in the Brad McKenzie when he was, I mean, if you're want to talk about a horse closing sensation amount of ground, go back and look at the Brad McKenzie, how impressive ended up making it a photo after being that far back. That was a tremendous race by those two. But as of right now, I will probably lean Empressum given the distance of 440 yards.
It's interesting that Monte Rosa is following the exact pattern for Apolltical Pence as last year, whereby the horse had a break after the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship and resumed. He came back into action for a shorter stakes race at Ruidoso, 250 yards. And he's done exactly the same thing this season. Quite clearly, the horse is ticking over beautifully again. And, it's just exciting, isn't it? It really gets the adrenaline rushing through the veins just thinking about the prospect of another clash between these two horses. And by the way, this corresponding weekend last year, I was in Australia to surprise my mother for her birthday and didn't even get to call the Boniface or the Golden State Million Futurity Trials. Ed Burgart came off the bench to fill in for me. So I'm particularly looking forward to this weekend just because it's a big weekend that I happened to miss last season.
And Ed Burgard is back. He's going to be in the building because this time I tell him, Ed, you don't have to be in the booth, but I need you downstairs. So he's going to be filling in for me down in the set as I'll be taking the weekend off. So that's pretty fun. Ed Burgard joining the desk. Just a year ago, he was in the booth filling in for you. So Ed, as always, we made the call to the bullpen. He's ready to go. And it should be fun having Ed and, of course, the fans enjoying his analysis.
Yeah,
and
that's
process.
That's an amazing. Last year, he's filling in for me in the booth, and then this weekend he's going to be filling in for you down on the FanDuel TV set. That's quite sensational. I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun having Ed on track. Enjoy your weekend with him. Share a Coors Live for me down at Burgers after the races. I'm sure you guys will do that. And I'll be back next weekend on the FanDuel TV set. All right, Michael, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for your analysis. And looking forward to a big weekend. Got to save that voice there for that 13 race card on Sunday night.
Absolutely. Hope all goes well with AJ's baptism. Have a wonderful family weekend. And by the way, speaking of that trip I did last year to surprise my mother, it's actually her birthday today, as we record on a Thursday afternoon. It's Friday in Australia. So I'll be on the phone to her pretty much as soon as we finish our little chat here.
That sounds good. Tell her Jose says hello. Tell her I said happy birthday. And hopefully she has a great day. And she's a time traveler. She's ahead of us, Michael. She's a day ahead of us. So happy birthday to your mama.
I will pass that on. Thanks, mate.
All right. Have a good rest of your Thursday. I'll see you next week at Los Al.
Hoorah.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick six continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick six can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick six is one of the country's best.
That's right. Welcome back here. Pick six has been tremendous here in the last few months, actually all year long at Los Al. $2 pick six variety. Let's talk about Saturday night. Now here with your Los Alamitos analyst on track each and every night to the simulcast signal. It is Christopher Wade. Chris, how was your weekend last week? We had the weekend of the Sal, of course, weekend of the PC Creator Breeders Derby and Futurity. It was a good weekend to be at Los Al.
Yeah, it certainly was. And the numbers were great at the sale. Absolutely well put together every single year, quality animals, and it was a great weekend of racing here at Los Alamitos.
Yes, unfortunately, we were the underbidders in that $300,000 horse. We could only afford about $20. So they easily went over us, Chris. We couldn't put together enough of a partnership. But congrats to Reliance Ranches on that cell topper, $320,000. They got a beautiful filly, of course, by that cross, Favorite Cartel, Remember Rose. So the pedigree is there to be a terrific filly.
And not only pedigree, but she looked absolutely gorgeous, goes to top-notch connection, so we're expecting big things from that runner for that big, big price. And well connected. I mean, everything out of that broodmare has done nothing wrong. Yes. So all animals, and they big-body animals, they always run on, too.
Yes, she's the golden mare. She's really been a terrific producer. In line with that sire Favorite Cartel as well. All right, let's talk about Saturday night. Chris, Mike Wrona had a selection in race number 6. You're going to take us to race number 7. And race number 7, it's a pretty good race to start the late pick 4. We got a field of 10 to start the pick 4. 300 yards for the maidens, 2-year-olds. So this is the Colts and Geldings division of that maiden event that Michael was talking about. You're liking the outside runner, KR Stingray. And I'm liking him as well. I mean, that's a very nice 8-1 morning line.
Yeah, it certainly is. You know, you got quality animals. You got some nice runners coming in from Rio Dos, as per usual, for Christopher O'Dell. Horse ran some solid races. But KR Stingray, this horse was a C-plus worker prior to the debut and running very good in the debut to be right there throughout. Then lost no chance in that second lifetime start. The last time was a much BTL, much better than looked effort to be fourth in that affair. Had a good amount of trouble early, threw the head around, was finishing very, very well. Drawn to the outside, this horse gets away clean. A big look at a nice price there as a weekend preview selection and our price plate in the racing car on Saturday night.
Here's a replay September 9th. And again, he had the outside post this night, which he has again here tonight. But what you see here on this replay, outside post KR Stingray.
Yeah, the horse got a little fractious in this gate, as you can see right there. Then the horse does break slow away from the gate. Finally settles right before the gate opens up and broke slow, veered in, threw the head up in the air, and was taking a while to get going, kind of slow in the stride, lost the length and 3/4. The horse drifts out early. But this big-bodied runner, the final half of the affair, leveled out strongly, not even asked to run, just trying to keep the horse straight, and was starting out very, very well under light pressure, if any at all whatsoever. But the horse galloped out very, very well. And with everything factored in, my trouble, my track variant, the horse has a good number there, and then drawn to the outside post. The horse can just break and run straight. Can definitely have a look at the outcome at a nice price there in that 7th affair.
If he would have kept a straight path that night, Chris, he probably should have won that race.
Certainly, in my opinion, he had a big look at the outcome, had a good amount of trouble, broke slow, veered in, threw the head up in the air, and drifted out steadily. Never really leveled, but the horse is moving strongly. He's a big-bodied runner, and the horse, like I said, was a C-plus worker, so it's getting bigger, better, faster, and stronger each subsequent start, and could very well be lucky lifetime start number 4 there at a nice price there in the 7th event.
All right, so the horses that are probably going to take the most money in this spot is RB Legacy for Christopher Odell, who's coming in from Ruidoso. 3 straight trials. He's in gate number 8. The 4 Waving Down, who's been in the mix of things in the last 2 starts, actually exits that same race as your top selection. And then AJ Hotboy, by the way, the entries just came out for Sunday's card. Yeti Willis Barn, it is stacked. They have loaded with entries on tomorrow's trials and Sunday's trials, and they also have some contenders here on Saturday night with the AJ Hotboy.
Yeah, they certainly do. This horse has a look at the outcome. I'm going to give a slight look at the first time starter down the inside for Monte Rose. The horse impressed me in the morning drills, and as the horse is going to get bigger, better, faster, and strong with every subsequent start. And I like those workouts. So he gave the horse like a B and a B plus. That horse did a look at the outcome of the price there in tonight's 7th event as well. So it's a closely matched affair. It could go any number of ways, but we're going to give the look to the outside of the price there in tonight's 7th event.
All right, and that is going to be KR Stingray. I'm liking the morning line. I'm liking the price. I'm liking your selection at 8-1 from the outside post. Before I let you go, let's talk about the big event. The main event on Saturday night. Robert Boniface, Los Alamitos Invitational Championship, a grade 1 event over 6 figures in the purse, 125,000 to be exact. Of course, we have the rematch. Impressive. Apolltical Pence. We got London Toby, the winner of the Spencer Chalmers. We got Hooked and Gone, a 3-year-old facing older, coming out of a next defeat in the $1.2 million Gold Cup, the Yellow American Derby. We have Bomb Cyclone next in the Gold Cup. We know how much he loves Los Al. So this is a very, very good 6-pack, Chris. Here, where are you thinking right now? Do you think the post benefits Apolltical Pence being drawn towards the middle?
Well, yeah, the horse is a big look at the outcome. He's one of my selections. That is a closely matched affair. Got to give a slight edge to the local horse. Impressum, last year's world champ, ran very good in his last affair. Like kind of a long shot looker in there as well. Horse, a lot of ability, but always seems to find trouble. And when the horse does break and run straight, I look at the outcome. That'd be Apolltical Toby London Toby at a big price there for Scott and the Doctor. Has a long shot look. Does come out of that same race as Scoop Dynasty and Impressum. And thought the horse had a chance that night, but broke slow and was lugging out the whole way, but leveled out pretty well late. And with everything factored in, earned a decent figure on my charts. You can't throw the horse out because the ability is there. It's just a matter of getting out of the gate and running to that ability.
Well, London Toby was so impressive in that Spencer Challenge that we know he has that amount of talent. I mean, that 1947 puts him in line with what Apolltical Pence and Impressum have done before, right? So it's all about the perfect trip for him. And if he can get out perfectly fine, he's got numbers to match up. But obviously, he's drawn in between the 2 main contenders in gate number 2. This is a great renewal. Great matchup. The distance, Impressum wants every bit of the 440. And we know Apolltical Pence has that tremendous gate speed. I can't wait for this rematch. It's going to be a fun race to end the night.
Yeah, that's just a great 6-pack. As you know, the Apolltical Pence coming off that 250-yard affair is so very quick. That's my only concern with London Toby. The horse breaks a little bit slow, it's going to be troubled. But with the numbers, has a look at the outcome at a big price. And, of course, Bomb Cyclone, what can you say about that horse? Horse got a stack of talent, was very impressive in his last effort when running close at Ruidoso.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Saturday night, 10 races on the card, of course, highlighting with Impressum, Apolltical Pence, and London Toby leading the way, with Bomb Cyclone returning from Ruidoso as well. And then on Sunday, we'll have 13 trials for the Golden State Million Futurity. We got to get to work. Got to send in all these comments, Chris, for the nightlines, each and every one of these horses. It's going to be a long night of work, but can't wait because this is the weekend. These are the type of weekends we look forward to as horse players because we got good fields, we got good horses, and we should get good odds on some of these improving 2-year-olds.
Yeah, you get some nice prices along the way, and you get some horses with trouble, and these 2-year-olds can jump up from one race to another and improve multiple lengths with a decent getaway. And you're going to find some long shots on the card. We're going to be trying to help everybody out with the consensus there on Sunday for all the players.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I know the players like following the consensus. Looking forward to it. Bragging rights. I know there's a belt in line. Professor G has it upstairs. Christopher, yourself, George Duarte, Christopher Wade. I think Michael Wrona will be in the consensus this week. I'll be sending my selections as well this week. It's going to be fun. Bragging rights all around. Pizzas, bets getting thrown around left and right. It's a fun in-house bragging rights battle in our consensus that we do. So looking forward to it. All right, Chris, get ready for this weekend. Looking forward to all the great racing. I'll let you go so we can get to work on the Nine Lines comments. Are you doing any simulcast signals as well?
Oh, yeah. We're locked and loaded. We got races 3 through 12 at Lone Star.
Okay.
Then we got the final 3, race 6, 7, and 8 at Evangeline, and the final 3 against 8, 9, and 10 at Albuquerque. So we're locked and loaded with 15 races being piped in on the simulcast.
Well, that you know what that means, Chris. We're not sleeping tonight. I've got all these trials to look forward to and submit. You've got all the simulcasts as well. So we're not sleeping. Sleep is non-existent this time of year. But we can't wait to get to work and look at all these horses. All right, Chris, have a good rest of your...
These are well-earned lines on the eye.
Yes, for sure. All right, Chris, have a good rest of your Thursday. I'll see you next week at Los Alamitos.
All right, boss. You have a good day.
You too. Welcome back, Jose here. Let's talk about our few horses that I'm looking forward to Saturday night at Los Alamitos. And I'll say a few. I couldn't decide between a couple of horses. I'll mention both of them. We'll start with race number 1, the thoroughbred event here, going 4.5 furlongs. And this horse I've been kind of having my eye on for a few starts, and it's the 5 Petito. I kind of was very high on him towards the end of last season, kind of to get that win off of that claim for Robert Lucas, and he ran well back on November 13th. Specifically, is where I kind of was had my eye on him when he ended up finishing 3rd that event. He actually got bet down to 5-2, and he showed good speed. Now they went and tried tougher, was no factor, and then they went to the break. Now he came back and just was a bit flat on May 20. Just did not show much at all. They went to the daytime. He showed that flash of speed once again. All right. Now they came back to the nighttime, but it was a much tougher allowance group. And he didn't break all that well, never looked interested. And then Robert Lucas shipped him out to Emerald Downs. Emerald Downs is a fast, quick racetrack where if you don't have the quickness to break, you're pretty much up against it because there's some very good local speedy runners. So I'm going to draw a line to that race because he just wasn't good enough. And again, so now tonight is the night where he's dropping to the bottom. $2,500 claimers straight to the bottom. This is a field that doesn't have a ton of all-out clear-cut speed. There's going to be a few runners that might be able to be for placed like Vermeer, the 4, and the 1 Paul L. But this is a field that lacks that knockout type of speed. So I'm hoping Petito wakes up with a class drop tonight to the bottom of 2,500, and he shows that speed that he flashed over the daytime back on July 2nd. So Petito at 6-1, he is the co-5th choice on the morning line. Yeah, it looks like he's the co-5th choice on the morning line in a field of 8. So I'll tab him as my long shot of the night, Petito, to start the night in race number 1. All right, let's go to my lock of the night. And I am going to go to a horse that was the lock of the night winner earlier this season, and then came back to run a very game effort as a price horse last time out. Let's go to the race number 9, the Sound Dash overnight handicap, 350 yards, 3-year-olds and up for the fillies and mares. And this field features quite a number of runners that exit the grade 1 Millie Vessels. The 1 Sir Lady Moon was troubled in that spot, was 5-1. We got Hot Girl Summer, who returns from Albuquerque. She ran well at Los Al earlier. Last winter. The horse I'm going to make my lock of the night is going to be the 3, Just Dream of Me. Now, she was a lock of the night back on August 19th. I think that was a Saturday program, so that might have been a preview show selection as well. But Just Dream of Me came off the layoff, very sharp, got bet down, and ended up prevailing with a pretty nice time of 1761. Now, let's take a look at the replay most recently in the Millie Vessels. where she went off at a very attractive 6-1 that night. Here's the replay. Just to remember me, the Grade 1 Mildred Vessels Memorial Handicap. She was in gate number 8 here. Cruz Mendez had the mount. Cruz Mendez was aboard for the win. Ruben Lozano had the mount this night. Gate 8. Watching, she kind of, there wasn't a significant bobble, but the hind end and kind of took her a few strides to guide her rhythm. Now she gets rolling here with a nice wide path to run. She engages these two horses along the inside and outside of her, and she was ultra game, battling every step of the way. Ends up missing by a head in this spot. You can see it was a blanket finish. Toxic Relationship ends up winning the photo from gate number 7 at 16-1. But Just Remember Me ran very, very well in the feet. She was 6-1. She was eventually, you can see the bobble with the hind end there, kind of just took her a few strides to find her rhythm. So she ended up putting up a very, very good effort at 6-1. And this night she might have been a little bit intimidated in between horses, but she ran very well. All things considered, I like what I saw from her, and obviously I like what I saw from her in the comeback win 2 starts ago. So she bounces back with a little bit of a better start tonight, a little bit more in line. I think she deserves to be every bit of one of the main contenders in this spot. So Just Remember Me she would eventually be placed second, even though she finished third in this race. You can see the photo right there. She ended up finishing third, but placed second via DQ as the inside runner was disqualified. But Just Dream of Me, I think she's in a great spot here tonight. I like where she's drawn in gate 3. Sweet Test is not the most quickest horse out of the gate. She's more kind of known for her middle/late kick at times. So I think she's drawn in a good spot. I think Just Dream of Me can break fairly well. Hopefully gets into stride quickly enough and gets the job done. So I'm going to make her my lock of the night in the Sound Dash race number 3. Just Dream of Me in that field of 9 horses, which also features Lady Cartel, the winner of the Matron Stakes 2 starts ago, and quite a few others that exit the Millie Vessels. But I'll stick with Just Dream of Me as my lock of the night for Saturday night at Los Alamitos. That's going to wrap it up here for this weekend. Again, we have plenty to look forward to. 10 races on Saturday night featuring the Los Alamitos Invitational Championship, Empressum, Cyclone, Apolltical Pence and Toby leading the way in that field. And then Sunday night, we have Golden State Million Futurity Trials, 13 to be exact. So expect 3 pick 4s on Sunday night. I'll be away this weekend. Ed Burgart will be filling in for me on the FanDuel TV set. Enjoy the analysis of it. I'm pretty sure it'll be a treat for all the fans to have Ed Burgart back on the set. And of course, hearing his analysis throughout the evening. Top 10 fastest times of that Sunday night trials evening will advance to that Golden State Million Futurity. All right. Thank you to Professor G, Christopher Wade, Michael Wrona. Have a good rest of your Thursday afternoon for us, and we'll see you this weekend at Los Alamitos. Come out and join us. Check out losalamitos.com for all the info up to date of what's to come, and also the Los Alamitos Halloween Carnival, fast approaching, a fun family event for all ages. Come out and visit us soon at Los Alamitos. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next weekend here at the losalamitos.com preview show.
The Los Alamitos traditional pick 6 continues to rise. On July 2nd, a carryover of nearly $15,000 led to a total pool of over $150,000. On July 9th, a carryover of $15,000 led to a total pool of nearly $160,000. Plus, with no jackpot provisions, the Los Alamitos pick 6 can pay big time every time. And if we don't have a carryover going into Sunday night, we'll add 10 grand to the pool. That's right, the fast-rising Los Alamitos pick 6 is one of the country's best.